a podcast created by two guys brought together by movement, transformed into brotherhood. The boys share their authenticity as they deep dive into what it means to explore this human experience. Shedding light on personal trials and accumulated wisdom, Conscious Collingwood is meant to provoke thought and insight to expand your personal awareness. Come along for the journey as Justin and Jeff exemplify what it means to be a man living wholeheartedly, balancing the divine, masculine, and feminine. Welcome to Conscious Collingwood.
Oh, my fucking voice note the other day. What an idiot.
Yo, why don't you send that to me, by the way?
I'm tired of sharing.
Vulnerable?
I've been sharing too much recently, I think. Just fucking too much. Too much.
Says fucking who?
Just feeling too much. You want me the synopsis of the voice note?
Are you going to leave it in the podcast?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
The synopsis was, so I haven't been sleeping tremendously well, and when I did wake up that one morning and was thinking about your mandala painting, and I was able to reflect some of my thoughts to you that seemed to resonate and connect, I'm like, well, what if that's a sacrifice worthy? Like, what if the sacrifice of my sleep and sharing that with you ends up impacting many people?
Mm.
So more or less, put your ego in your pocket and don't worry about your sleep. And what it was this surrender to what is.
Yeah.
Like, don't resist waking up. Like, you woke up for a reason, or you're having this dream for a reason. Like, don't worry about getting your 7 or 8 hours of sleep. Don't worry about that all being perfect. Like, maybe this is a sacrifice that's necessary.
Brilliant.
And then to surrender to it all.
Paul actually told us that we should always keep a journal by the bed.
Mm-hmm.
If you wake up with something, it's coming for a reason.
Yeah.
And it helped me. Your perspective really helped me.
Yeah.
Because one thing that was reflected to me on my birthday is that I'm a powerful manifester. And I'm glad it was reflected back to me because I wouldn't say that I remember or I knew that about myself. So it was cool to be like, yeah, you know what? I am a powerful fucking manifester. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, the interesting thing, Justin, is we are all individually powerful manifestors. It's just that if it's a material thing we're thinking about and whatever else, you're going to materialize and manifest positive or negative.
Yeah.
Right?
So I actually looked, so my mandala, it has a spring, summer, fall, winter. Right top corner, spring. Bottom right corner is summer. Bottom left is fall. Top left is winter. And so I dove into interpretation of my mandala a little bit further in the fall, because that's the season we're going into. And there were 4 big stars and 7 little stars. So altogether, it's 11 total, which is the devil.
Oh.
But 4 big stars, emperor. 4 is the emperor in tarot. 7 is the lovers.
Mm.
False. 11, no, it's not the devil. 11 is justice.
No.
So
Same thing but different.
very different. So yeah, I was kind of confused by justice. So I was like, okay, well, there's 4 big stars. Emperor, that feels good. That makes sense. And then 7 is lovers. Okay, I could figure that out. But altogether, it's justice. So I'm like, that's also interesting. So just.
Why did the devil come up for you then, just now?
The devil is always a theme in my life. There was a dinner I was at, and because I like to play with, I would just call them like different herbal substances, marijuana, mushrooms. I'm not really a big drinker or anything more extreme than that. So the devil has always come to my consciousness, and there was a dinner I was at where my card was the devil. And this woman interpreted it as like, sometimes, I can dive into distraction, but I think the deeper truth for me when I really reflect on it is my mind is so driven that oftentimes I like a little bit of substance to go into. I like that stimulation, whether it's mushrooms or marijuana. I really like to dive into the stimulation that provides my consciousness, my brain, my body. Yeah, I just like the feeling. Whether I get high and run the mountain, like I'm not getting high and fucking eating chips.
No.
I'm getting high running the mountain. I'm getting high. I'm painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the devil is ever present because, you can go too far into it, for sure. And I need to reel myself in sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose as long as it doesn't feel like you're escaping, right? You're using it as a tool.
I'm diving in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going a little bit deeper.
Yeah. And at the same time, well, as long as the escape from time to time isn't harming your life, but like this life is very complicated.
It's so complicated.
This human experience is very challenging. So like,
it's a lot.
From time to time, what's wrong with a little bit of an escape? Fuck.
Yeah. Just change the conscious experience a little bit.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make it productive. A productive escape.
Yeah. Even the language.
Yeah.
Escape. I don't really resonate with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not escaping from anything. I love my life.
Yeah. I'm
absolutely in love with my life, and marijuana and mushrooms allows me to love a little bit more fully.
Yeah. I participated in some of that last weekend.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But I was drinking a little bit too, so I really don't know the full effects of the psilocybin. But
yeah,
it did. What was reflected to me was my emotions were big. Like everything just felt big. Mm-hmm. The challenge with me is that I know how alcohol affects my body. I know how marijuana affects my body, and I don't have much experience with mushrooms, and so I didn't feel much of a physical change, and so it was hard for me to gauge where I was at. Because it was more of a feeling than it was a physical change. Was that accurate? If that's accurate.
I've noticed with mushrooms and alcohol, it almost amplifies the good feeling of alcohol.
Oh.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I had a great night. It was a great night, but
time.
Just everything.
This is my birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed your you being there.
Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed the whole thing.
It was a great night.
One thing I think is so important is Ariana has pretty much started this, but on whoever's birthday it is, we go around the circle and just say one thing I love about Justin. And it's beautiful because how often do you get reflected how you mean to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
To be seen is to be loved. So to be seen by the people that you care most deeply about and they're pouring love on you, it's just like, damn. And some things were reflected back, like I'm a powerful manifester. I hadn't been living into that truth enough. Where now, since it was reflected back to me, I'm like, oh, okay. I actually do need to own that more. Because I am.
Yeah, and you can amplify it. And harness it. And
here we fucking go. Buckle up.
Oh, man.
You manifested a triathlon this weekend.
Yeah, I signed up for another one.
Not alone.
What's that?
Not alone.
Not alone, no. Dan and Ariana are going to do it, and then another gentleman from Everlove, Dave. Yeah, it's very fascinating. Like, the reason I signed up again is it wasn't like an FU to myself, but so when I finished the first one here in Wasaga Beach, there's a bit of a high after that and whatever else, but the idea of doing another one, like as soon as I finished the race, I was like, no, I've checked it off my list. I don't need to do another one. And then at dinner, I was like, I could go probably run 5K. Like, can the body go do this again right now? Like, let's go see. It's not that crazy. And so I was going to, and then I talked myself out of it. And then the next day or two after, I'm still thinking about it, and it was just on my mind. And I used so much logic and rationale to talk myself out of signing up for this one in St. Mary's that when I went to your strength class on Monday, just the way you asked me, because Dan and Ari were wanting to do another one for their own personal reasons, and the way you asked me, I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I literally got in my truck and I signed up Monday morning. And then that actually pushed Dan and Ari over the edge because they were fence sitting. They were like, I don't know, blah, blah. And Ari's like, if you hadn't done it, I don't think we would have actually signed up.
No.
So that's beautiful impact. But yeah, for me, it was more so just the practice of, okay, it feels like my heart and my body want to do this again. Why do we have to worry about this that's on the to-do list or what's going on over here? It's like, it's one day out of your life. It's a flash in the grand scheme of things, and it's hopefully less than 3 hours of work. Just go do it.
Go.
Yeah, and so that's why I just ultimately signed up. Just like, let's stop thinking and overthinking things, right?
Be 2.5 hours, and you're done.
Yeah. So I haven't thought about it too much. I had a really good workout this week in your class and Ari's mixer there on Tuesday. My legs are feeling it, so I'm going to try and really just. I think it was a good push for me, and I had a nice bike ride on Sunday. Went for a long jaunt on Sunday.
How far did you go?
Just 20K, but it's enough. It was good for the legs.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just now just kind of let's recover going into Sunday, and then we'll see what we have. I'm not worried about the running and stuff. Like that feels there. I think it's just making sure the body's in good condition. Mm-hmm. Maybe do a lot of stretching in the next little bit, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Scale of 1 to 10, how sore are your legs?
Oh, maybe that's a good question.
Yeah.
It's the glutes and my hamstrings. It's probably like a 5. It's not even that bad, but
I think you should do a 40K bike.
Really?
Yeah. Flush
them?
Today or tomorrow.
Yeah?
Just calibrate to the distance you got to go.
So the body knows what it feels like?
Yeah. Remind the body what we're doing.
Okay. All right.
And then go for a light run.
After?
Yeah. Just that transition, if you can just remind the body just before the race, like this is what we're going to be doing, you're going to be miles ahead of Dan.
Okay. That might be tomorrow morning then. Tomorrow's Thursday. Today's
Friday.
Thursday. Fuck, tomorrow's Friday.
It's raining.
Yeah. I was trying to do this night then. Okay.
Yeah, you've had 2 days off. Today might be the night.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah, do 40.
Yeah. Fuck. I want to get in the pool one more time just to do a couple laps. Might do that tomorrow morning. Just to remind myself, and more so just to remind myself of the breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's what impressed me after the first one. Was just couldn't believe how calm I got in the water. I know we have different stories, but for me it was just like
I love that for you.
I just couldn't believe how much my body just kind of was like, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. But anyway, I'm excited about it, and I just got to be careful. I want to do this to have fun, but I'm also thinking about where I can shave some time compared to last time, obviously. So it's like, obviously I can pick up some time in the transition. If I'm a little more aggressive in the water, getting into the water, because I really just sauntered in. I bet you I fucking wasted 3 minutes getting into the water, just easily moving. So if I can, calmly be a little more aggressive in the water, getting in, even getting out, and then the bike I don't think I could make up any time. If anything, I might be a little bit slower because I feel like I pushed myself a lot on the bike.
No,
but we'll see.
That's not the mindset.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'd be surprised if I beat my time from Sega Beach.
Change your mindset. Change the language, bro.
I'm not. Yeah, sure, okay. I'm gonna beat it by.
Own it.
Somehow. I don't know though. I'm just telling you. Physically, I pushed myself on the bike, so I don't know. If anything, I bet you I match it.
You better push yourself tonight. I want you to match that time tonight, and then show your body that there's more.
Fine. And then the running, I know I can push myself to running. I know, and what I told myself is if I can just find a rabbit, just chase that person. Not kill myself doing it, but like if I can chase the rabbit, you know.
You'll just be Dan's rabbit.
Yeah. Fuck.
Dude, this is the one.
And dude, we're in the same fucking heat.
Good.
This isn't good.
He rode a really nice bike. And I've been poking him.
I don't like the idea at all about him hunting me, and
he loves the hunt.
Yeah.
But realize it's not really a hunt. He's striving to be just as good as you.
Yeah, I should take it as a compliment, and
it's an absolute compliment.
But he likes to hold things over people's heads, so that's what has me.
I know. Don't let it get to your head, though.
No.
Yeah.
Run my own race.
Yep.
And
maybe let it drive you a little.
I do know ultimately though if we're
it's gonna
battling,
be bloody.
Yeah.
I love it.
He'll be fucking crying on the ride home.
Or he'll be quiet.
No.
No, I wish for him to. I do wish for him to beat you.
Yeah.
And I wish for you.
It makes me
to
sound like I'm
beat
some
him.
sort of super. Like no, my time was 3 hours. I'm fucking 40 minutes behind the eventual winner there, but Dan was only 6 minutes behind me, right? So he knows where he could find 6 minutes and more. So
yeah,
we're on equal playing fields.
Yeah.
For sure. And if he didn't have to shit the last 4K, he actually might have probably beat me.
Dude, I've been laughing, thinking about his comment of the bushes were nervous the way I was looking at him. That made me laugh so hard.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny. That's good.
Oh, mercy. Yep. So anyway, short of that, that's going to be Jeffrey's Sunday. So
tell me more about this. So Paul has this series on his podcast, and it's how to evolve yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then how to evolve your career. You're on mentally.
I'm actually almost through them all, but
okay.
I was speaking specifically to the mentally.
Tell me more, because I love it. This series is something I go back to
I actually might have to re-listen to this one again because there's so much information, and speaking a lot about subconscious and conscious work, and there's just a lot. Like I even though I've just gone through these 4, I want to go back and listen to them again and take notes because it's just there's so much information.
That's what I did.
Yeah, and the fact that there's that much information, I know this. Yeah, it's free.
Free, people?
It's free university, for Christ's sakes.
You're going to be better off with the Evolve series than you are any fucking university course.
100%. But the one thing that came up for me when I worked with my coach Tammy years ago was me as a perfectionist. And, I never knew it. I always thought that meant to me where I wanted to just do things right. And if I was splicing wires, I wanted to make sure my splice and my moret was just perfect, right? Or if I'm cutting something, or I'm cutting grass, or I'm, whatever I'm doing in great detail, it's like I'm a perfectionist. But the fact is, it becomes a burden because there's no room for error, there's no room for failure, right? And then I put so much pressure on myself, and then what comes with that is so much external validation. Needing to validate my worth, right? And so I wasn't so much aware of that. So Tammy brings it to the forefront, and we work through that, and I'm like, holy smokes, that's a little ugly. And with that work, what was reflected to me or what was taught to me was how it can cause me to procrastinate because I'm not willing to go and start a business or go and do this because I'm worried about how it's going to look, or I don't have all my shit in order. Am I really ready? Where it's as opposed to just jumping in with both feet and just figuring it out. So it can be, the procrastination gremlin can show up. But what Paul was talking about really hit me, and it was about how the perfectionist can, or not can, require so much external validation. And I'm mixing the two teachings a little bit. Tammy's stuff was more so around procrastination and me holding myself back. What Paul was sharing really hit me. I was like, wow, there's still a lot of that for me where I could manage it, but there's a lot of things that I do that I'm looking for that positive reinforcement, or do you see me over here doing all this, So it was just very simple, but it was just brought to my awareness, something that I can further reflect on. So if it pops up, I'm like, oh, there it is, And a concrete example would be in our house, like in our Terry and I's relationship. Like, if she's out with the girls, whether they're doing one of their sports or something, and I've cooked dinner, or she has, and I'm cleaning up the kitchen and making lunches, like, I try and make sure everything is spotless because I know it brings her so much comfort. But I also do it because I want her to see me. And I know this isn't true for other men. They because I hear stories and hear Terry talk about her friends and their husbands and stuff, and they don't have the same mentality when it comes to participating and cleaning shit up and stuff like that. And so I notice that quite a bit. There's a lot of worthiness around some of the actions and stuff that I do around the house, and it's productive and it serves, but it's also, it's a little unhealthy to some degree. But I'm very aware of it. At least stuff's clean.
Yeah. No.
At minimal.
And it's nice to be validated, like to be seen for the effort that you're putting in. I totally get that.
Well, and Tara and I are very good for, if she goes grocery shopping or something, I always try and thank her I do it as well, but for the most part, Tara takes care of that, at least in this season. And then come wintertime, it, adjusts a little bit. But whatever it is, cooking, cleaning, making dinner, it's just there's an acknowledgement there because, I don't know, when you don't reciprocate and you don't share that, it's kind of, you take it for granted, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Take it for granted and then, yeah. To be seen for all the little things allows for a lot more appreciation than, I wonder what it's like if you don't actually see each other. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
Or what are you looking for? If it's not all the good things, you're usually looking for the bad things.
Yeah.
I've been in a relationship where it was just pinpointing all the things that weren't working instead of all the things that were great. That wasn't enjoyable.
No. Yeah. And at the same time, making sure that when you are doing it, you're present when you're saying it.
Yeah, look into their eyes.
It's not just something that you're like, just to check
Thanks,
it off
bud.
the list. Yeah. Yeah.
Acknowledge them.
Yeah. And it's important now, like our fucking dude, like our schedule is just so busy, like with Ella's volleyball and G's cheer. And now with the golf club reopening here soon, it's just like it's almost 7 days a week. Like this winter will be a blur.
Yeah. And
we'll just be like two ships passing in the night. Just.
Will you get Ella a car when she's
16?
Well, she's got a full license, yeah.
Yeah, she'll definitely have one,
Yeah. It's been a lot. Love you, but...
Yeah. Drive safe, no cell phones, 2 hands on the wheel.
Yeah, fuck, no cell phones.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're already discussing that, and she's raring to go anyway. But and she's confident enough. Like she's not. It's like I want my own car.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But the only
Freedom,
challenge
baby.
is like if she's not gonna continue to play down in Markham stuff, like if she's on a 400 down the highways by herself at 16, it's like,
Yeah.
it's a lot, but you know what? She's got to grow up sometime.
Yeah. For sure.
Especially when they're there fucking 4 nights a week.
Yeah, like drive her 2 nights.
Yeah.
She drives herself 2 nights.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so.
Gives her a sense of responsibility,
Yeah.
work ethic.
Anyway, I brought that up just to just to say, like, you know, how important it is to communicate and how important it is to just acknowledge and appreciate each other, because it will be a blur.
Yeah. Do you have trouble acknowledging and appreciating yourself?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, you reflected, I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, but that one morning you offered to get me a tea from Gibson's when you were stopping in for yours. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. And you're like, it's a couple, like, what are you talking about? Just let me buy you a tea.
Fucking tea, bro.
Yeah. And,
It's not even a coffee.
you know, you share with me, it's like, because you see it in yourself, it's like, I have a hard time receiving. And dude, I notice it, whether it's a nice text message I'll get from somebody, or if I post something online, especially with this whole daddy-daughter stuff I've just shared and whatever else, like, gotten some beautiful messages, I fucking avoid them for like a whole day. It's retarded. Pardon me to use that word, but it's just like, it's probably accurate.
Yeah.
There's something in me that's not fully formed. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's
uncomfortable.
It's silly. I don't know what it is. Didn't get enough as a child or something. I don't know. But
Dude, it all goes back to it.
yeah.
It all goes back to childhood.
Yeah. It could be a worthiness thing.
Yeah.
You know it all, but trying to embrace it. I'm trying to be more proactive if I get a message, replying right away. Seeing it, not avoiding it. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, same. Yep, Ari always pokes me too. You don't like receiving. And I'm like, yeah, because in my childhood I just go under the radar.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about me. I don't want to be a bother.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and as you mentioned too, like for, you know, receiving on an individual level could mean so much to each person. Like for someone else, it could be that they don't want to owe somebody something, right? They don't want to receive. It's like, oh, now I got to buy this person a tea sometime, or I got to remember that I got to pay for the next dinner, or I got to do this and that, right? Like,
that'd be exhausting too.
Yeah.
I like just doing things for people.
That's the thing too.
No,
I have no problem
I
doing it all. Yeah.
There's no list in my mind. I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah. Or yeah.
Just the
That's
bank.
how I feel. Yeah. It's the fucking bank.
Yeah.
Yo, that quote I read to you today, that shifted things for me.
Did it?
Yeah. Should I read it to the podcast?
I think you should.
Okay, so the quote is from Alex Hormozy. And Alex Hormozy is he's a mogul. Very intelligent dude. He's very work centric. Like he has his dream is primarily focused to his goals. So his goals are number one. He loves his goals more than he loves anything else. And he has a wife that understands that. She's number two. Goals are number one. It's very interesting. But it works for them. So there are a lot of people, you know, that have more focus on building things and goals than everybody's different. And I think it's so important to have these extremes of people in life to help us gain perspective.
Well, that way you can use your own discernment.
Yeah.
What works for you, what doesn't. Does this align, does it not?
Yeah, David Goggins. Does that running every night 100 miles feel good? No. So, but you know what? If I need a little motivation on a Sunday, fuck yeah. Carry the boats. If you want revenge for all the bad things that have happened to you, start with the version of you that hasn't lived up to the potential. Lived up to your potential. when that hit me, because I think it's easy to slip into the blame game and blame others and circumstances and people and the reality of the cards you were dealt, to never amount to your true potential. And I've seen that in myself many times. And this process of leaving construction and going into health and wellness is entrepreneurship, really. Entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome. Because you get to, and it all wounds go back to childhood, so it gives you the opportunity to heal through entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm. It really is the greatest teacher of business. It is. It's such a great vehicle.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You learn so much about yourself.
So much. Because I would say that when I was in construction, climbing ladder, that was easy. I worked hard, don't get me wrong. I climbed all the way to the top, and then realized, and it was safe. Pension, benefits, steady pay. I didn't have to look too far in the future. It was really, this is the job. It's going to be X amount of months. We'd love for you to manage it. Easy. Oh, predictable. Predictable, stable, fun. Where entrepreneurship is, it is facing your doubts every day, your ability to execute and create what you want in your life, instead of relying on somebody else to set you up. And obviously you still work hard, but it's different.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're building, you're selling, you're creating. There's just you have to do it all. Yeah. I don't know who owned that company and how big it was, but definitely the person at the top there is feeling it, making sure they sell the next, commercial job, and dealing with this HR problem, and dealing with this over here, and it's like there's a million fires, right?
There was no HR, Jeff. Let's be honest.
Yeah. You get pulled into the construction trailer.
I was in drywall. There was no HR. Yeah.
Oh, mercy. I'm glad you recognize that. It took me that 2x4 in the head when I smashed my truck and trailer, handful of years in, to really recognize how business was trying to benefit me. Mm-hmm. It was working in my favor. I just wasn't paying attention. You're smarter than me. It's, you're a couple years in going, oh, I get it. I was probably 4 or 5. A little stubborn. But no, that's a great perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. What time are we at?
I don't know, only half an hour or so.
Well, I guess I can dive into, just since I talked about it last week, my whole anxiety and the panic attacks that I've been navigating. And anxiety and excitement are very close in nature. So swimming, everything lives in the body. I've spent 27 years in an anxious state of my nervous system knows full well anxiety, panic, an uneasy feeling, and I'm hyper aware of sensations in my body. And so 27, I faced those fears, went into the anxiety through exercise, breath training, to the point of peak anxiety, and then train my body and my mind that I can trust my body and I have a powerful mind. So put it And don't, like, it slipped in here and there for, it took me two years to fully unwind all of it, I would say. And then I lived in this state where I felt very capable, very strong, very steady. And then going to that open water swim, it just ignited it back inside me. And yeah, it was anxiety, it was panic attack, and I really struggled with navigating it, and it started slipping into my life. And it slips in when I'm teaching strength class, and it's really just at the start. And I realized, like, that's because there was a part of me that was annoyed. I was like, you had to slip into the one thing I love the most. This is my passion. This is the thing I absolutely love and adore. And I think it slipped in due to how close excitement and anxiety are. So a lot of speakers will think anxiety will have trouble differentiating anxiety and excitement. So I was like, oh fuck, maybe it's because I'm so excited and I love what I do, and that's how it's snuck in. So and every opportunity, or I see every health struggle, challenge in my life as an opportunity for growth. And instead of deal with it on my own and not talk about it, what if I just talk about it and be honest and be real, instead of saying, like, I got it all together. The reality is life gets shaken up sometimes, and it gives you more opportunity to grow. And so I've seen this as an opportunity to grow and come back to that trust and strength in my body and my mind.
Good for you, man.
Thanks, bro. And it's felt a lot better as I'm navigating. Obviously, it's still peeking its little head, and I'm working on it. But yeah,
well,
I feel
you and your theater background have me fooled, at least, because your ability to navigate that in the moment, you did it pretty seamlessly.
Well, maybe it's theater. Maybe it's, Ariana always taught us, like, if something's to go wrong in class, most of the time, no one's going to pick up on it. You have to manage it. And so whether it's fucking the speaker or, I don't know, you got a little tickle in your throat or something, and you need to take a second and be like, everybody go into child's pose and fucking drink some water and pray to God that you don't have to cough. Stuff like obviously little things, and then there's these big things that come up, and you're like, it's so present inside my body, and I'm just navigating to the best of my ability. So it's pretty cool what you can face, and especially with all eyes on you. I've had 30 people in class, all eyes on me while it's happening. It's like, yeah, it's very much like speaking.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going through it for a reason, right? Either to heal yourself or gather that experience so you can help someone else here into the future, of course. I heard recently, I forget who, it was a woman, she was talking about anxiety, and she didn't subscribe that anxiety is a feeling. It's more so the mind or the body's, wanting to escape feeling or emotion. Like, it's really not, anxiety is just the wanting to not feel. And just what she shared, I was like, just for me it resonated. I was like, it kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's my experience of anxiety is usually it's a anticipation towards a future sensation, whether it's not being able to catch my breath, or yeah, let's just use that one because that's really what happens to me. And so I have started shifting my mindset, especially in exercise, to, man, I feel so alive. Instead of I feel anxious, I feel fucking alive right now. Very alive.
Well, as you mentioned, like the body really doesn't know the difference between being excited and being anxious. It's a similar feeling, right? A similar energy. I think what she was trying to share too, and I didn't watch. Again, I may have spouting off here with not enough information or context, but I think her point was anxiety can just be such a general term. It's like you need to look at what's causing the anxiety. The anxiety's, so you're looking at the emotions behind, like what's showing up for me here. It's not that I just have anxiety. Well, why do you have anxiety? Like what's there?
Yeah.
And
I had it very strong camping. The first night we paddled out to this remote island and everything was good, like low level anxiety, because I can't control the set and the setting, and I don't have things to help me ground myself, like, I don't know, just things to, whatever, comforts. Yeah, like I don't know, just my house or whatever. I can't just go home. I'm on a fucking island, and the only way out's canoeing.
Yeah.
Into headwind. So, good fucking luck getting anywhere fast. And it happened the first night, and I was washing dishes, and I just told Jess, I was like, I'm fucking anxious. Like, I'm really, really, like, I'm kind of having something here. And I got through it. And we just laid in the tent for a while. And then I said something I used to say when I was a kid, where, fuck, I just wish I was normal. I could just navigate like everybody else. And she was like, no, you don't. You don't want to be normal. And this is your gift, I am a feeler. Feelings, like emotions, I'm a heart guy. So I got big feelings, and sensation in my body is easily overwhelming for me. So regardless if it's emotions, if it's sensation, feeling is a lot. And not in a great way. It's almost like a superpower. I have an ability to feel, and I have a heightened sense and ability to feel. And like, even through my classes and things that I teach, I create playlists and movements, and I say certain things to invoke feeling. Like, I hope you feel something from this, yeah, because bringing someone back into their heart and their feeling is a gift. Can you imagine being numb? Yikes. So
I know a couple people.
Yeah. Yeah, and
no,
so
yeah,
it was, and I overcame it, and then for the rest of the weekend I felt great. Which, yeah, I just got to remind myself, like, I always got my own back, and I can trust my physiology, I can trust my body. You can overcome anything,
Yeah.
I've asked my doctor, can I overcome asthma, and he said no, and I did it, and I said, fuck you. He's a great doctor, but it was fuck you to the establishment of, you are reliant on these drugs and you can't trust your body because you don't know anything about it.
No.
It's above you.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to take ownership, and I'm going to empower myself with the knowledge, and I'm going to show you. And look at me now.
Look at you now.
Still comes up, but I have the power to take care of myself and love myself enough and see myself when I'm struggling. And I'm human.
It's funny you say that about feeling and wanting to be normal, or at least in that moment feeling that, because I've shared that with Terry actually this week. It's just like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm too sensitive, and it just feels like too much sometimes. Like, too sensitive. But it makes me who I am, I suppose, right? So,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a gift, but...
Yeah, don't say that to yourself too much.
No. But, like, and I don't know why it's coming up for me. I was thinking about it today because I've been up and down those 2 ladders. I don't even know how many steps I've done. But I recognize working over my head and installing that tongue and groove trim, I would catch myself not breathing. So I'm in a moment of, not panic, but I'm so focused on what's in front of me that I finish and get nailed, and then I take a huge gasp. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm not even breathing. And then so, brought to my awareness, I started being a little more conscious of my breath while working, and, similar to a yoga pose, just breathe through it. And then things became a little bit easier. But, it's maybe a silly story, but it just reminded me how quickly when we face adversity or you're going through something tough, like how often we don't breathe. We cause ourselves so much grief because we're just not connecting to our breath.
Yeah.
And in that moment, because I'm struggling, it's just like, just fucking breathe through it. Just take a breath while you're doing it, or just take a moment and regroup and then do it again. But anyway, a little silly story, but I couldn't believe when I caught myself. I was like, wow, in this moment, just something as simple as this, I'm not breathing through this exercise.
You gotta have a lot of focus. You got something over your
Yeah.
head, trying to get it lined up just right. All that. I teach people breath work, and it's so funny because I always say the breath is the fastest way to shift how you see and perceive the world around you, because your brain is attached to your eyes. It's the perceiver, and then you make up all these stories about what you're seeing, which are making a reaction to your body. So if you had a mailman fucking as a kid just throw mail on you, like whip it at you, you're probably going to get a little bit heightened when a mailman comes. But it's not really true, but it's a story that's up in your head, and it'll change your breathing patterns. So
especially if you walked out of your house and your mom's waving bye to him or something.
Oh my, yeah.
You'd be like, the milkman and the mailman?
Yeah.
What
the fuck's going on here, Mom?
In-house delivery?
Yeah, why does he deliver the mail to your room?
Yeah.
And why is the milk on the table but he's in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see how that could cause some issues.
Yeah. And then you're just always wondering why nobody ever stays when you're an adult. Like,
yeah.
Aren't you going to stay a while?
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's powerful. It's just reconnecting to the part of you that's not breathing. So that's the goal.
I shared that story first day of school. Girls go back. So last year I dropped Elle off as her first day of high school, and I'm only sharing this because many of you probably wouldn't have seen the clip, but I shared the story of me dropping her off. Things are going fine, but she's a little nervous, and I think her parents, Terry and I, are nervous and whatever else. But anyway, I think we're feeling good. So I'm dropping her off, and it's just chaos. There's kids everywhere. There's cars everywhere. It's just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And
she's in grade 10 now?
She is now, yeah. Last year when this story happened, she was obviously going into grade 9, first day, and she didn't. I pulled over to drop her off, and she wasn't satisfied with where I was dropping her off, even though that's where everyone else was getting dropped off. And then everything had to be absolutely perfect. And I forgot in that moment that in the world of a 14-year-old, the whole world revolves around her, and the whole world's looking right at her. Like, they really care about her getting into this truck. Like, they really care, right? And of course, I'm saying this facetiously. And in that moment, I got heightened myself. Her and I are going back and forth with each other. It's like, just get out of the goddamn truck. Like, no one's looking at you. What are you talking about? Like, it was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It was just kind of crazy. Yeah. And I wasn't proud of myself, and I would later apologize and everything. And I'm sharing that story to say, like, in that moment, if I was smart enough or more mature enough just to take one big breath for myself. Go, what's true here? And just, it would have dissolved everything.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done another lap around the block, or I could have, said nothing. Just witnessed her and supported her, as opposed to being now part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot. It sounds so silly, but like, I learned a lot about myself in that 2-minute interaction. Not even, probably 60-second interaction. And like I usually do, I ponder and reflect ad nauseum. But if I could go back in time and have just taken 1 or 2 deep breaths and gone, okay.
Yeah.
But you mess up and you learn and you apply it, so.
How'd it go this year?
I let Terry take her this time.
Oh.
Yeah. We avoid all. No, it's good. I've dropped off a few times now this week, and things are good. But obviously, very conscious about it all, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, forget what it's like to be a teenager. It's a long time ago. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, my stepdad used to, I walked to school or I biked, and it was a good trek. But if my dad ever dropped me, like my stepdad, if he dropped me off at school, he'd roll down the window and say, "Love you, honey." And it's this big fucking Japanese guy with hair down to his ass, fucking beard, or Fu Manchu kind of goatee, and fuck, it was funny. Like, I was like, man, this life is mental.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my mom dropped me off when she'd be in her pajamas still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was always flattering.
Yep. Didn't matter.
No. Just get out. But those are the things we think about, and again, it's one of those things, like, if it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years, it's like we create so many stories, we care so much, and it's like, that's the whole perfectionism thing too. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no rationale. It's just like, no one cares that much about you. No, they fucking don't.
They don't. Yeah.
And if they do, it's like the news. It'll pass, and there'll be a new story to pick on. Like, we all just care way too much sometimes.
I know.
And I am uber guilty of that.
It's a very interesting. We're all. Yeah. We have a moment in time, and as soon as we're gone, it's pretty quickly forgotten.
Yeah. Well, bro, we covered a lot of territory, not even on a map. It was just kind of
Jesus.
West Coast, East Coast, up and down.
Yeah.
All over the place.
I'm 33 now. Life is crazy. And this is what I've been told is my Jesus year. So,
what?
Yeah. 33 is when he rose from the dead, and whatever, I don't remember the story at all, but
well, he was crucified first, so he was crucified in his 33rd
crucified,
year,
then resurrected. So I was actually thinking, and my family is very religious, I was thinking of like pinning myself to a cross.
Stop it, Justin.
And being like, it's my birthday. Chose not to do that.
You want to talk about narcissism?
I know. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, we all have a balance of empath and narcissist.
Yeah.
I did a lot of wild shit for a laugh. I literally cut out a picture of my face and I glued it to the angel on top of the Christmas tree at the family house. And you know what? Everybody got a good laugh out of it.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my Jesus year, so big things. 33.
I've never ever heard of that.
Neither have I. But we're gonna ride the wave.
Yeah.
Whatever it means.
What does that mean?
Well,
is it a rebirth year or something? Is it a?
Maybe I'm gonna die and be reborn. My grandma's been telling me every moment we're together that Jesus is coming back. So maybe it's me. Just kidding. Dude, this is fun.
Thank you for being with us. We love recording these podcasts. If you know anyone who would resonate with today's episode, we would be grateful if you would share it with them. If you have any questions or comments, do not be shy and reach out. We would love to connect with you. Until next time, be well, love yourself, and live consciously.